Hello, developmental psychology class. So I'm going to give you a very brief overview of how to study for your first exam. Now, all of you, we use PowerPoints in class, right? PowerPoints is the foundation, and that is what is going to, of course, show you the information that we have talked about in class. So the information that's on the PowerPoint, which is also in the text, is the information that you will be asked questions. Does that make sense? So the PowerPoint is really the foundation of. I'm not going to ask anything that wasn't talked about on that PowerPoint. Okay. All right. So let's get into how you. So what's important in reference to a take-home exam is how you organize your notes, because you're not studying in the sense that you're trying to remember, but you're studying in the sense that you need to understand the concepts and you need to know where to get the information from. Does that make sense? So where do I look when I'm asked a question on a test? Where is this information on the PowerPoint and in the textbook? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's do share. So for an example, give me 1 second. So remember, the what is developmental psychology text PowerPoint, some of that information was not in the textbook. Okay. So remember, there is information that I like to teach my students when it comes to understanding what developmental psychology is. All right. So, for an example, one of the things that we went over is the characteristics of the lifespan. We talked about it's lifelong, it's multidimensional, it's multidirectional, it is plastic or plasticity, it is science, it's disciplinary, it's multidisciplinary, or the field of developmental psychology is scientific and multidisciplinary. It's also contextual as well. Okay. So, that information is not in your textbook. Okay. So, what you would do simply is the best way to do an exam that is a take home exam, it is how you organize your notes, because this will be a time test. So, this is about how you organize your notes, number one, and then number two, making sure that you understand the concept. So, I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Then I'm going to share again. All right. So say for an example, I was studying for this test. Here you see a Word document. What is developmental psychology PowerPoint? So I would begin to, on a separate sheet of paper, you can do it on flashcards, whatever is comfortable for you, I would outline the key concepts from that PowerPoint. So once again, the characteristics of the lifespan right there, lifelong, multidimensional, etc. Also on that PowerPoint, for an example, were theories of development. We talked about psychoanalytic theories, Freud and Erikson, learning or behavioral theories, Watson and Bandura, and cognitive theories, Piaget. Those theories are also in the textbook in chapter 2. So not only are they on the PowerPoint, but then if you want more information about the theory itself, a deeper understanding of the theory, you would simply go to chapter 2, highlight the section of the textbook that talks about Freud, Erikson, Watson, Bandura, that talks about Piaget. Okay, so that's what you would do. Make sense? So this is kind of like not your study guide, but this is how you can organize the information so that you know where to go. So when there's a test question that you're seeing, you're going to go to this and say, oh, they're asking about characteristics of the lifespan. Oh, where is that? It's in the what is developmental psychology PowerPoint. Or, oh, there's a question about theories. Where am I going to find that? Oh, it's on the PowerPoint or it's in chapter 2. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop sharing again. I'm going to share one more time. So let's go to let me just give me 1 second. Let me go to home and get one of the PowerPoints. Oh, here it is. Okay. So for an example, one of the PowerPoints that we did was the PowerPoint in reference to genetics and birth, right? Okay. So I know I'm going pretty fast, but you have the PowerPoint. So this is this PowerPoint, right? All right. And here's all the information. Here are all the terms. So basically, what you are outlining on I'm gonna call it an organization study sheet, are the terms. You don't have to define them. The terms are defined on the PowerPoint. The terms are defined in the text. Okay. So you're going to go through and pull out those key terms. Okay. All right. And then once again, once you do that, let me stop sharing again. So share one more time. So for an example, Chapter 3, genetics and prenatal development. So we talked about genetic expressions. We talked about dominant recessive, incomplete dominance, dominant inheritance, polygenic, blah, 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 blah. All of that's on the PowerPoint, all right? All of that is also in the textbook. And let me say this, if there's a term that is on the PowerPoint that is not in the textbook, you are still responsible for that term. So like for an example, I don't think codominance that may not have been in the textbook, but it is on the PowerPoint and it's defined for you on the PowerPoint with an example. So you are still responsible for any information that's on the PowerPoint, okay? But the information that's also in the textbook, once again, that's just going to be able to help you to understand more of what's on the PowerPoint. All right. Also, for an example, for chapter 3, we talked about the beginning of life. So on that PowerPoint, we talked about sperm and egg formation. We also talked about under that the germinal period, the embryonic period. So those are those key terms. And once again, if there's a question that I'm asking about the beginning of life, you can go and say, oh, that's going to be in chapter 3 PowerPoint or in chapter 3 of the textbook. So this is basically what you're doing is a key concept sheet. And that will help to pinpoint where you need to go to get the information, what PowerPoint you need to go to, or of course, what chapter you need to go to as well. All right. Going to stop sharing. So I hope that makes sense. Once again, when you're looking at this, it's about two things. It's about how you organize those key concepts so that you can easily find them on the PowerPoint and the textbook. But it's also about making sure that you understand the concept itself. If you have a question about a concept, please let me know. All right. This is the time that you should begin to organize your notes for this test. So let me know if you have any questions or you need more clarification in reference to a concept. All right. Okay. So I hope that is helpful, because let me say this test, you're going to have to apply the information. It's not going to be a test where I'm going to say, what is the definition of this? You're going to have to understand the information itself. All right. All right. Good luck. Bye-bye.